funny, na? How you finish all your homework, you do all your assignments, you are a very obedient child at home, even at school, and then you expect things to go good for you. But then, not everything turns out to be really good now, does it? Why am I so depressed? Because my mother invited Dobson to stay the night tonight. I am completely alright with my friends, my cousins, my sisters, anyone from sleeping over. Dobson also no problem as long as she doesn't mess my stuff up. I mean, come on. Oh well. I guess that won't be a valid excuse for me for not doing my homework, so let's get down to business.
Question number 1. What country calls itself Nippon? Okay. 3 options: New Zealand. Option number 2, Japan. Option number 3, China.
Well,
Nippon doesn't sound very New Zealandish, if you know what I mean.
it doesn't sound very Chinese either. It sounds more Japanese. Since Nippon has a P in it, and Japan has a P in it, New Zealand doesn't have a P in it, China doesn't have a P in it, so I'm gonna go with option number 2, Japan.
The answer is
Japan.
So I was right. Lucky guesses actually work once in a while, just once in a while, but the other times you have to make sure that you get everything right. Okay. So I've got a little bit of facts for you. I wrote it down actually. So I'll read it for you. Both Nippon and Nihon literally mean the sun's origin. That is where the sun originates and are often translated as the land of the rising sun. So Japan is another name for the land of the rising sun. Or Japan is known as the land of the rising sun because Nippon and Nihon literally mean the sun's origin. So that makes sense. Also, this nomenclature comes from the imperial correspondence with the Chinese Sui dynasty and refers to Japan's eastern position relative to China. That part I didn't understand either. So it's okay. So what we need to know is that Nippon literally transfers or translates to sun's origin and Japan is known as the land of the rising sun. Picture it. It's nice. Second question. The word bank comes from a ... America, that's option number 1. Sri Lanka, that's option number 2. And Italy, option number 3. America, Sri Lanka, Italy. I don't think Americans came up with the word bank. It doesn't sound very American. Nor does it sound really Sri Lankan because Sri Lankans we say Bankuwa. So, no. So I'm going to go with the only option that's left, which is option number 3, Italy.
the answer is
Italy.
I have facts.
History.
Now, the word bank comes from an Italian word banco, meaning a bench. Since Italian merchants in the Renaissance made deals to borrow and lend money besides a bench, they placed the money on that bench. So, the word came from the fact that, Italian merchants would, sit beside benches and then, send off their money and the other merchant will take it. They make deals beside these benches and then they keep the money on top of the bench. So, the word bank came because you keep the money on a bench, which is known as a banco. So, it translated into bank. So, the main thing here is that the word bank comes from Italy and it, originated from or transformed from the word banco, which means bench. Why is because Italian merchants would usually make deals and keep the money on the bench or the banco and then do their transaction. So, banco turned into bank. Ta-da! Okay. Third question. Name the process by which terrestrial plants loses water. I'll repeat. Name the process by which terrestrial plants loses water. Is it option number 1, transpiration? Number 2, pollination? Number 3, respiration? I don't know, nation.
The answer is
Transpiration.
Transpiration. See, it's transpiration, pollination, respiration, that nation, this nation, recreation, which I like. Recreation, ITVs, what? Recreatory. Wait, what? There's another word. ITVs. Oh, recreatory activities is what I like. Okay. Now, transpiration is the correct answer. So I'll explain what pollination and respiration means. Everyone knows what recreation is. Pollination means the fact of, how you have pollens in flowers. It goes from one place to another flower also, and the pollen drops into another flower. It does some thing and you get another flower. That's pollination. Like the transportation of pollens from one to another, where bees, flies and other sorts of insects and animals help pollination to take pollens from one flower to another, and then it comes off with the entire huge process, which I am sure that your science teacher can explain, so go ask her. Respiration, on the other hand, is a process of, taking in oxygen, out carbon dioxide. It's like breathing. That's respiration, okay? Transpiration, on the other hand, I got a big list of facts about it. Now, transpiration is a process by which moisture is carried through plants from roots to small pores on the underside of leaves, where it changes to vapor and is released to the atmosphere. Transpiration is essentially evaporation of water from plant leaves. Transpiration also includes a process called guttation, which is the loss of water in liquid form from the uninjured leaf or stem of the plant, principally through water stomata. Studies have revealed that about 10% of moisture found in the atmosphere is released by plants through transpiration. The remaining 90% is mainly supplied by evaporation from oceans, seas and other bodies of water, that is lakes, rivers and streams. So basically, 10% of the moisture in the atmosphere is thanks to transpiration, that is of course of plants, where the moisture gets off. And of course the rest of the moisture in the atmosphere is from water bodies such as lakes, rivers, streams, oceans, seas and stuff like that. So that answers my third question. I am having a little bit of a difficulty in my throat. I need a glass of water. I shall be right back, please. You know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. On the way back, Dobson was there, okay? Dobson wanted to come study with me. I was completely alright with it. I was like, Dobson, fine, let's go and study. It's a good thing to teach your siblings, your younger siblings, your elder siblings, or even transferring knowledge with your parents and adults. It's amazing. But then, Dobson passed by the kitchen, okay? She was just passing by with me itself. She agreed to come study with me. She was passing by the kitchen. Then she saw a chocolate-covered crepe cake. And you know what she did? She was like, nah, I'll stay. I'm good. Go ahead, study. I'll enjoy this crepe cake. And she stayed. You study first and then you eat. Remember, breakfast is important. Breakfast is required. But still. Now she's going to completely finish all my cake. All of it. All of my crepes. Not even one single molecule of a crepe would be left. Thank you. Anywho, question number 4. Which country's capital is Kabul? This is Afghanistan, Algeria or Armenia? Afghanistan, Algeria, Armenia. Afghanistan, Algeria, Armenia. Armenia, Algeria, Afghanistan, Afghanistan, Armenia.
Algeria? Algeria. Wait, what?
Afghanistan, Armenia,
Algeria.
I don't know.
The answer is
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. So remember, Kabul is the capital
Of Afghanistan.
Okay?
Fifth question.
What is the full form of WTO? Is it the World Trade Organization? Is it the World Transport Organization? Or is it the World Terminal Organization? Problem with these questions is the fact that WTO, and when they ask me to figure out what the full form is, they keep giving me, full forms with exactly, the W's, the T's and the O's.
The O's.
The vowels, so the O's. It's hard. World Trade Organization makes sense. World Transport Organization, questionable. World Terminal Organization, Office, Terminal Office. World Terminal Office sounds odd, so we'll take off World Terminal Office. Then World Transport Organization doesn't make sense because from country to country, the transports, it differs, alright? I mean, three-wheelers are not present in Europe also, it's in the Asian region, so it's different. World Trade Organization actually sort of makes sense. A quick tip for all of you out there, whenever you get MCQs for you, make sure you eliminate all these options you think just doesn't make sense or isn't right, you don't feel right about it, just all of that. Then you get, a couple of options, or maybe you'll be left with one, which is the right option. Remember that. So, according to me, I'm going to go with my gut feeling and say that the answer is the World Trade Organization.
the answer is
World Trade Organization.
See, I happen to know a little bit about the World Trade Center, or the World Trade Organization, the World Trade Center. Trade Center is the stock market, that's a completely different topic, never mind. So, the World Trade Organization is an agreement between a couple of countries where it is a way to motivate countries to lower whatever their, duties on imports and exports, their trade barriers. Trade barriers are the things which restricts one country from selling things to another country. See, there are different sorts. There are stuff like tariffs, which are taxes, quotas, which are, of course, wait, what are quotas? Oh yeah, quotas are like specific quantities. You have embargoes, then you have red tapes that properly restrict something from going from one place to another. So those are all trade barriers, things which stops one country from, selling goods and services to another country. So the World Trade Organization is where a couple of countries gets together and they are like, okay, when I trade with you, or when you buy it from me, or when I sell to you, or when you sell to me, we are not going to have, any barriers. There is not going to be any sort of extra additional taxes. There are not going to be physical limits on how much you could sell or buy. Nothing like that. We are having a free trade agreement. So you're going to trade with me, I'm going to trade with you, something like that. So it's free, there's no taxes. Does not mean that you don't have to pay the amount of the good. You have to do that. But this extra cost that happens when you send, goods from borders, that's all taken off. So that's the World Trade Organization. It's something that actually encourages globalization. For those of you who don't know, globalization is when the entire world gets together as one, develop as one, exchange information, exchange cultures, and live together as one. That's globalization. So World Trade Organization helps globalization. How did I know all that? I have no idea. Just keep pressing out. Alright, now let's move on to our last and final question. Question number 6. What is this beautiful place called? That place. That's what I want. 3 options. Great Barrier Reef. Great Barrier Reef. New Caledonia Barrier Reef. Red Sea Coral Reef. These are all reefs. It's a reef and these are all reefs. How am I supposed to know which reef this is? Is this a Great Barrier Reef, the New Caledonia Barrier Reef? Is the Red Sea Coral Reef? See, 2 options already have, barrier reef in it. So I have a good, option or a gut feeling that the answer has to be a barrier reef as well. So I'm going to be like the Red Sea Coral Reef is out of the question. So it could be the Great Barrier Reef or the New Caledonia Barrier Reef. I am actually stuck. So let's go check whether the answer is option number 1, option number 2.
The answer is
Great Barrier Reef.
The Great Barrier Reef is what it was. I've got facts about the Great Barrier Reef. Who wants to listen to it? Yeah, I don't see a lot of hands, but anyways, I'm going to continue. The Great Barrier Reef off the coast of Queensland in northeastern Australia is the largest living thing on Earth and even visible from outer space. The 2,300 kilometer long ecosystem comprises thousands of reefs and hundreds of islands made over 600 types of hard and soft coral. It's home to countless species of colorful fish, mollusks, and starfish, plus turtles, dolphins, and sharks. The Great Barrier Reef is one of the 7 wonders of the natural world, and pulling away from it and viewing it from a great distance, you can understand why. It is larger than the Great Wall of China and the only living thing on Earth visible from outer space. That had a lot of facts, and that has a lot of importance as to why you should make sure that places like the Great Barrier Reef is kept preserved and protected. Protected. That is a lot of words starting with a P, but it's really important. Because guess what? Things like the Great Barrier Reef is a habitat. It's where a lot of animals live. Dolphins, sharks, different colorful fish, and also different sorts of species. Just imagine if someone comes over to your house, wrecks the entire place and then goes. That's disappointing, and now you don't have a place to live. So because of these reasons, make sure whenever possible, take good care of Mother Nature. Because there's always, it is said that there's a balance between everything that happens on planet Earth or everywhere. So if you mess up with the balance, there could be a very high likely chance of everything going crazy. Like go nutsy cuckoo. So make sure whenever possible, us being the little ones, us being the younger generation, to, keep on protecting everything. Okay? And besides, the Barrier Reef is one of the world wonders, the 7 world wonders. And it's larger than the Great Wall of China. Imagine how big and long it is. It's huge. And apparently you can see it from outer space. That has to be extremely significant for someone to see it from outer space. And also the fact that it is the only living thing that you can see from outer space. That's crazy. Because if someone looks at you from outer space, you are not even a dot. They can't even see you. But when it comes to the Great Barrier Reef, of course people can see it because it's beautiful, ginormous, and very important. So, protect all your ecosystems and your environment. Thank you. So that was a couple of facts about the Barrier Reef and the importance of protecting Mother Nature. I'm not asking you to go ahead and dive in headfirst into the sea, make sure everything goes on, nothing like that. I mean, if you can, it's amazing, but not exactly. Just, you have habitats around your house. You have different sorts of habitats, small animals built. make sure you preserve them, help them out a little bit, take care of them. But you know, there are sorts of habitats or homes that animals create that could be a little bit of a problem to you. Because bees, if you have a beehive nearby, there's likely potential of the bee coming in and, you know, going zip. And you get a bump and itchy and all of that. So just make sure you don't have any hazardous habitats around, like a snake living next door, which could be a little bit dangerous. But things which are like quite friendly and things. But whatever you do, whenever you do anything, always have adult supervision, because that helps just in case you need it. Alright, okay? So I try to create awareness as much as possible to make sure that everyone preserves planet Earth, Mother Nature and the environment, so we all can grow up to have an amazing life filled with a lot of greenery and lead healthy lives. Because if you don't protect the environment, there's going to be so much air pollution, noise pollution, water pollution and so much more, which is going to just mess up the entire environment. So protect your environment, in conclusion that is. Okay. Oh, with that we're done with all the questions. 6 questions done. I'm so happy, but I'm a little messed up since I know that Dobson must have already finished off my crepe cake, but I'll think about Mother Nature and keep quiet because I did a good thing by coming here and talking to you all, and you all helped me finish up my homework. So that's great. I'll think about that while Dobson is eating all my food, but it's going to be alright. Now, thank you so much for helping me finish off my homework. If you have any doubts or any questions that you find it hard to answer, don't forget to send it to moi, that is me in French, and I'll try my level best to answer it for you because you've been helping me. I will help you as well. And don't forget, you can talk to my mom or dad, and through them you can talk to me. The number is right over there. You can WhatsApp or Viber me. And just in case you want questions, pictures sent to me, make sure you send them through Twitter, Facebook or Instagram, all right over there. And just in case you missed a couple of questions or you want to refer back for your purposes at school or some sort of a thing, make sure you go head on over to our YouTube page, subscribe, turn on the post notifications and catch up and learn something new. With that, I have to go in and be with Dobby. But you have a great time. With that, Dobby out!